Welcome to another episode of Fun Times with Battles in mtgarena. Today we have this deck called... You're playing what now? For Alchemy. Central to this deck is the Weathered Runestone. Non-land permanent cards in graveyard and libraries can't enter the battlefield. Players can't cast spells from graveyard or libraries. After the deck intro, I will go over the 90 reasons for main decking this atypical sideboard card that apparently never sees the light of day. Meanwhile, let me showcase a few immediate uses of this runestone for the deck itself. First of all, once the runestone is down, I can comfortably exile any creature, enchantment, or artifact at instant speed for just 1 mana. The part that says controller puts a random creature card with lesser mana value from their library onto the battlefield tapped is completely nullified by the runestone. So it's really satisfying to use this when that expected replacement creature fails to drop onto the battlefield due to this runestone. The extra runestones serve to pay for the added cost of the Deadly Dispute to help me draw cards, or they help guarantee an artifact on the board. Combine that with 9 instances of enchantments. Often I can use both abilities of the Soul Transfer to first exile my opponent's creature or planeswalker, and second, to return the dog, the vampire, or the planeswalkers from the grave back to my hand, which is not affected by the runestone. The remaining cards in this deck serve to combat aggro decks, such as the overused mono-white clerics or angels, mono-red werewolves, or mono-black. It's a late-game deck that has enough mass creature removals to drive aggro decks to ruin. Then, in the late game, the deck leverages tokens from the wedding announcement as well as from the Wandering Emperor and Sorin to bring down the opponent's life total. The Invoke Despair helps seals my opponent's fate while helping me with some card draws. And with the Weathered Runestone out, these aggro decks can't benefit from reanimating and playing cards from the library or graveyards when their hand is empty. Now, let's take a look at the 90 reasons why we're main decking this Weathered Runestone. So what we have here is a collection of 41 Reanimate cards, which I see quite often being played. In the mono white we have the most annoying one, the Cleric Class, followed by the Lunarch Veteran. And the Extraction Specialist, this rogue is getting a little more attention lately. But yeah, this runestone is going to stop it, along with all these other 41 cards. Invoke Justice is also a very popular card, followed by Brilliant Restoration and Ascend from Avernus, all locked down by this runestone. On the Orzhov side, you got Aura, very popular, so go ahead and take out any cleric card because none are coming back. On the adventure side, well, this dwarf cleric can attack all he wants. Nothing will be reanimated. And same on the vehicle side here with this rat pilot. Not much on the mono red though, although this tiefling is gaining in popularity, so the runestone stops this tiefling from coming back. On the Dimir side in blue we have the Callum, which is gaining some popularity, but yeah. Return Callum from your graveyard to the battlefield tap no longer happens with the runestone out. And my favorite lockdown is Tasha. You see a lot of her, and it's great that she can't use her second and third abilities with the runestone out. And then you have the Zombie King for the Dimir zombie decks. You don't see the Zombie King coming out anymore once you've put him into the graveyard. On black, of course, we have all these sorceries. These reanimate sorceries. Okay, so we have the Inscription of Ruin, Return Upon a Tide, Graveyard Shift, Okiba, Summon the Undead. This one is like a madness spell, so also quite annoying. And then on the Golgari side, this one has flashback, so if it's in the grave and you got the runestone out, forget about flashback. Same with Blood on the Snow, it's really cool. Destroy everything, but you can't get anything back. Haunting Voyage, probably used for those elf decks or the zombie decks, any tribal. It's great. The runestone blocks this one too, as well as Thwart the Grave and Agadim for these mono black aggro decks. On the Rakdos, you have this old guy, Orcus, that used to be used quite a lot to reanimate cards. And you had this sister that flies along and tries to bring creatures back from the grave. So that runestone is a great blocker for that. Wake the Slaughter, and then on the Golgari side we have another for the tribal elves. And then for the Blitz Ascendancy combo, the runestone shuts this combo down too. So all in all, here we have from the reanimate side 41 cards that we see, and the runestone does a great number on these and blocking all these cards. The other area that the runestone is very effective against is playing from top of library, and the most popular on the white category is Elspeth. It's her second ability now gets locked down, and if an opponent rushes too quickly, I've seen them attempt to use up the 3 loyalty counters only to find that nothing gets put onto the grave onto the battlefield. Same with AO, Dawn of the Sky. Go ahead and destroy this creature. They won't be able to put any of these non-land permanents from the library onto the battlefield. For the rune deck, don't see this card much, but basically search and put onto the battlefield does not work. Same for the rune crown in the same deck, and for those cleric decks, the Pyre of Heroes, go ahead and sacrifice your clerics. You will not get a replacement for it. The runestone is a very effective blocker for that. The green would have the most popular, not many, but the most popular cards in any green Stompy or Werewolf deck. For example, Ranger Class. See this one all the time, and it's level 3 ability. You may cast a creature from the top of your library. That no longer works with the runestone out. Same with the Realm Walker and the Augur. Sure, you can play lands, but as soon as you have Coven, you can't play creatures. Vivian, see her sometimes, and her first ability, sacrifice a creature, search, and put that into the battlefield, does not work anymore. So that's great. The runestone locks down this primary ability. And then we have Storm the Festival, a widely overused card. Its primary ability, put 2 permanents from the library onto the battlefield, no longer works with the runestone. In addition, its flashback ability can't be used as well. So on the red side, the most satisfying one is the Velomancus. Yes, it's a flying vigilant haste beater, but now it can't use its other ability, so great. And then Magna, sure, let her create the 5 treasures and let my opponent sacrifice 5 treasures only to find that the runestone blocks the arrival of any dragon card. On the blue, the Reality Chip. Then we have the Golgari, Rushed Rebirth for the dragon deck. Cemetery. These are all cards that allows you to play from the top of your library, including Kato, though I don't see the emblem much. And then Xanthar. It's quite interesting to see Xanthar's ability fizzle out, as they cannot play the cards from the top of my library. And the same with Nira. She can't play cards on top of the library as well. And then we have on the Orzhov side, a really good 3/3 for 3 if you have a nice party deck, but try to cast your parties from the top of your library with the runestone in play. Becomes just a regular 3/3 creature. On the multicolored, then we have Ziatora's Envoy, who's blocked. Falco, yeah, you can waste a counter to try to cast a spell from the top of your library, but the Runestone will block that. And Rocco, the Caterer, if you want to spend all that extra mana only to find that nothing shows up, that's okay too. So here are the 23 play from the top of your library cards that the Runestone effectively blocks. And finally, the Runestone is very effective at stopping cards from being cast from the grave. And there's 4 general categories of cards that you'll find, or that I've found, that are really popular in today's gaming world. We have these 4. Disturb. This is the first category, Disturb. So we're going to prevent these cards from having a second chance. And of course, we don't want Faithbound Judge out, because if you don't have any enchantment destroyers, 3 turns you're out. The Lunarch Veteran is probably the most annoying Disturb card from the Cleric decks, or the most ubiquitous. Then we have these 4 cards that are relatively popular. Of course, Tenacious Underdog, so we can basically shut down the Blitz ability and the Demi-Lich's ability to cast from the graveyard, as well as this Skyclave Shade. And the third category are these cards that allow you to cast other cards from the graveyard. So Invoke Calamity is a big deal in the mono red. Then you have Leer, very popular in the blue, followed by Mavinda from in the mono white typically, that is combined with flashback cards such as Homestead Courage. Yes, the flashback are the 4th category of cards that can be cast from the grave, which the Runestone effectively blocks. Here's Angel Fire and Sacred Fire for the Boros deck. Here's for the Werewolf deck. So make sure that these cards only get 1 chance, not 2. Memory Deluge is probably the most popular in the blue, and of course Storm the Festival in the mono greens. So all in all, 26 cards, quite popular, and spread out among all the different colors, so you will see these more often played, and so having the Runestone out is quite effective at reducing the card advantage that these cast from the grave cards have. The Lunarch Veteran. Looks like Selesnya life gain deck here. Well, let's see how they handle the Weatherstone. So let's get rid of the Lunarch, and the Weatherstone will make sure it doesn't come back. Put this one down. Could be a blocker. Or I'll use it to just ping my opponent, just in case they drop that Valkyrie. Alright, let's take away that Sigarda. No replacement card for you. I wonder what you're going after. Oh. Really don't like that. That's okay. I gotta put that other swamp, because I need at least 4 swamps for Invoke Despair, should I get it. Meanwhile, let me get back my Weathered Runestone. And you don't get a replacement card either. That's great. And that Lunarch Veteran stays in the grave. Alright, so now it's getting a little bit scary. I I just need one more mana and I can clear the board. What I'll do is I'll put down this Death Touch blocker. That should be a deterrent for any future attacks. And yeah, you can drop that last card. Not too difficult. There we go. Yeah, that's pretty nice. Alright, I'll leave those up for as blockers. And let's see how long my Death Touch blocker can keep my opponent at bay. So, if I can get another land, I can clear the board. Oh, okay. What are you going after? You're going to shrink all my creatures by one. Oh, okay. So much for the Death Touch blocker. Alright, the attack goes in. Alright, let's take out the moon. And that way I'll be able to clear the board next turn if I don't get a land. And that Weatherstones just saved my butt because they can't play the Disturb. So that worked out really well. I'm also grateful that they don't have any red for direct damage, so let's see how far this will go. Draw some cards. Oh, another one. And they have a difficult choice to make. Actually, it's not. The Cleric Class is pretty much useless now. And they can't put those... they can't use Disturb, which is so useful right now. Because those flyers will be incredibly hard to block. So let's clear that. Get my creature back. Okay. Another life gain. No, I'll get the other one. I could use that soul transfer. I do have an artifact and let's see. But I have nothing in my graveyard, so I'll just put down this blocker and increase the pressure for the next round. Yeah, that's not going to help very much, and that Weatherstone is really keeping those disturbed creatures in the graveyard. That would have been more blockers for them and more life gain. There we go. Okay, so in retrospect I should have used soul transfer. I don't know why. Anyways, we'll just end it. Okay, yes, good game. Thanks for watching Fun Time with Battles in MTG Arena. Until next time, have a beautiful day.